Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Academy League. Thanks for sticking with us. We've got one more game for you this evening with TSM Academy facing off against Team Liquid Academy. You guessed it right. And despite a disappointing showing in the spring split, TSM is making very few changes coming into the summer.
Yeah, that was a team that was on paper looking to be one of the strongest teams in Academy. Unfortunately, they did not find consistent success and fell far from the expectations that they had. Though roster is mostly unchanged with TSM swapping out Brandini for Piecake Lord, carry top laner who they got to work
very carry
hand with. Yeah, very carry oriented. In the most recent scouting grounds, they had some opportunity to work with him. The rest of the lineup is technically unchanged. However, Mike Young is starting in the jungle, which means Grig could be the one starting in the LCS this weekend. TSM has said that they want to swap between their two junglers splitting time, but how often that happens remains to be seen.
It does indeed. TSM battle against Liquid Academy tonight. Another team that made only minor adjustments to their roster.
Yeah, and Team Liquid was kind of forced to replace Mickey as he had gone over to Golden Guardians as the starter for their main roster, which means Insanity is the one that they've picked up in the mid lane, and that is just the one position swap. But the problem is that Mickey was a huge influence on TLA and kind of how they played. He had high highs and low lows, so we have to see if Insanity can bring a more consistent positive effect to this team because a lot of the identity was tied to Mickey's playstyle.
Absolutely. So without further ado, let's get into the starting lineups. On the blue side, it's TSM Academy. That means in the top lane, it's Piecake Lord, Mike Young in the jungle, Ablaze Olive in mid, Mr. Rawley's at bot, and Shady at support.
And on the red side, it's Team Liquid Academy. Dun, dun, dun. In the top lane, it's Viper. Jungling is hard. Insanity in the mid lane, not to be confused with Linsanity, of course. And Shoryu and Joey down there in the bot lane.
That's right. Joey even getting a little bit of that big stage experience recently.
International.
So bringing it back. Hopefully he can put a little of that on the Rift in this crazy era of League of Legends.
Yeah, I mean, what better way to get prepared for random stuff in the bot lane than
have your AD be a Jenna?
Yeah. That was a comp.
A comp to be remembered or forgot, whatever.
I want to forget that. Trust me, I do.
Whatever way you want to look at it. We'll see Kaista getting taken out after having a fantastic game just last game for Optic Academy. And we'll see what TL answers with here. TSM versus Team Liquid. Two big names, 0-1 versus 1-0. So we'll see if TSM can pick themselves back up with this match.
Yep. TSM was kind of winning that first game against CLG before it got turned around.
Blaze Olive doing quite well in the Yasuo.
And then it was weird. It was a 4-0 Yasuo or something crazy.
And then kaput.
Yeah. Hard to say why. Riven gets banned out. Viper's main and actually in meta finally because he was playing it all the time when it wasn't in meta. Now fighters with that Conqueror rune much more effective up in the top side.
Now it's real cereal. Is that a Yi?
That's a Yi.
So far away. Yi gets banned out. Let's see what the lock-in is here.
I doubt it's Warwick. I'm going to go ahead and speculate. It's not a Warwick.
It's a Zoe lock-in. So here's a question for you. If you're banning, do you ban Tarek or do you ban Yi? That doesn't really matter.
You know, it's tempting to say Tarek because you get, you know,
Cosmic Radiance, blah, blah, blah.
Cosmic Radiance can work in the bot lane. You can play a bot lane Tarek. It's not very meta right now, but technically he is the more flexible champion. But a lot of people talk about how that Yi strat can be run with other stuff. Like you can run it with a Braum or something. And so if your concern is strictly, I don't want to play against a super Yi, then banning the Yi is the most effective way to do that. So if I was in that position, I would probably ban the Yi.
Actually an answer. I was trying to stump you. Damn. Lucian locked in with the Braum. Ornn and Trundle on the other side. As this they take tank to the bank for TL Academy.
And was it they watched the last game? They're like, yo, that looked fun. Standard, playing that game we played for 7 years. Let's play that again. What are you guys doing?
Oh, man. Lock it in.
You don't know how long you have. Maybe all this gets nerfed and it's just back to standard. Enjoy it while you can, boys.
Live Design realizes, they're like, oh, that button's been on. We haven't had a chance to play the past few weeks. We didn't realize what was happening. Sorry, guys. Sorry, we're going to go ahead and revert it. Ooh, Morg goes in. Morg banned last game, so we'll definitely get to see the play from her this time, most likely in the hands of Joey, being one of his champions. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Anything
Probably this
can go
time.
Anywhere. I mean,
Horn.
Yeah, I mean, you can Trundle mid, pretty safe bet. Lucian and Zoe, pretty safe where they're going. Braum much the same way. So there's really not much craziness left up on the table here. The Lucian could always flex top. into an Ornn or something maybe.
It's gone so crazy. It's back to normal.
That is the truly crazy. On this patch, the meta is the crazy.
Just right full circle.
Yeah.
Yasuo getting taken out from Insanity. What will be next? That was actually a Blaze Olive's play, so he says, I don't want to have to deal with that. Also can do things outside of my lane that I can't stop. Xin Zhao away from Mike Young, who had a pretty rough game yesterday, trying to make an impact, trying to get the Baron steals in, was not working out for him, so we'll see if he can brush that off today, as Ezreal is the final ban for TSM Academy.
We'll have to see that Ornn sticks in the top lane. I remember, you know, Viper played Ornn yesterday, and once again, it was kind of just like, wait, you're a fighter player with a bunch of aggressive tendencies, and now when fighters are meta, you're playing the tanks. What's going on here? And it looks like we're setting up for that again. Shoryu locking in that Varus, kind of talked about that a little bit last game, being one of those champions who can kind of go that new AP marksman build that we've kind of been seeing taking off a little bit.
The loaf? They bring in the loaf. Olaf is in. Looks like Mike Young will take that to the jungle, so he's definitely going back to, hey, this feels good. This is a champion that was in my wheelhouse recently in the last plays. And we see Pie Cake Lord back to the Shen, second day in a row.
Yep, Shen, Olaf, pretty old, famous combo. Unstoppable dive buddies going in there, trying to blow people up. And
Lock it in. You dirty, dirty man.
Okay.
Aurelion Soul, they didn't have the Morgue. It would have been interesting to see where they put it, but Insanity shooting for the stars this game in the mid lane. We have a minute left, 20 seconds is when they all need to be sorted into their positions, but I think we're getting what we're gonna get right here.
Yeah, not too much flexibility here.
Oh, ha.
They're messing around.
We did see more top recently.
They're messing around.
We did see more top recently.
It's possible. We'll
15
see.
seconds.
I doubt it. You make your bot lane much worse in order to do this.
Oh.
There they go. I mean, Morgana into Braum is a classic counter pick. You stop that passive from ever going off, as well as kind of deny some of that all in at 6 potentially. And while maybe that makes your top lane slightly better, it's really not going, not worth it. So no surprise to see that happen. And we get relatively standard team comps for the second game in a row.
Absolutely, and we're about to be on the Rift for our final game of the day. The composition's on your screen, and you can shoot a hashtag to Twitter if you want. Vote for your team. We may not use it on screen, but you are sending your energy. And that's what they need here. Sixth game of the day? Fifth game of the day, rather, as we end off here our week 1 of Academy.
The thing to watch for me this game early on will be the Aurelion Soul. It's been seen in Korea a little bit, and a lot of people talk about how it's pretty strong in the meta for a couple of reasons. The first one being that with the nerf that kind of came into Talia and Rise a while ago, there's not many of these champions who can kind of shove from level 1 and level 2 onwards. And Aurelion Soul is kind of the remaining survivor of that trio of champs. And so he's really good for getting early mid priority. That's especially important with all the scuttle crabs and all that stuff that people have been playing. So people like him for that reason first. And second, if someone's going to go for a super strategy, a lot of people do like the Aurelion Soul against that, just because you can kind of get that shove in, and then maybe you can harass the jungler easier. And so here, not going to be using it for that second reason potentially. Just going for the regular roll. Push. Just being Aurelion Soul. And it's a little surprising to see it because there's not really any snowbally lanes here. Whereas that's the other reason you see it, when you're trying to protect or snowball a lane of your own.
Yeah.
Both side lanes are pretty stable, all things considered.
A Tormented Soil start for Joey means he has to back the heck out of the jungle. He has no crowd control. And I don't know if they're actually going to be able to trade here. We'll see how it pans out. Hard will probably know that his bottom's getting taken, so he'll head towards that top side. But I'm interested to see what Mike Young does. This is that point in time, what I was saying game before, we're like, why doesn't Mike Young just go over to his blue to stop it from going down? Kind of thing.
Uh-oh.
But it doesn't work that way. A little bit of back and forth. Love taps in the bot side here. Remember, Joey actually had Tormented Soil. So interesting for them to back off the fight there to start things off.
Yeah, I like their decision, though, because they chose to go for the minion wave instead. Mr. Rawls actually had to take a long path around, so you can see that they're pretty ahead in terms of killing these minions off. The whole backline's going to die a little bit faster for them.
And here's kind of the answer to my question, is you want to also grab Scuttle, a very important thing in the early part of the game.
Mike Young's going to grab that one and have his whole bot side to work with.
Vertical jangling.
Vertical jangles as hard as indeed up in the other team's top side.
Oh, he's going to leave it. Dirty man.
Ooh, that's not a nice boy thing to do.
The wolf is like, I'm not letting go, man. I know what you're trying to do. So actually a ping over to that side. They say, we know Mike's over here. We don't know for how long or if he's doing these wolves. Keep your eyes on me. So now Mike has a bit of an idea that hard is gone.
If there was a ward in that pixel brush that had known that all that was going on. So that's why Mike Young didn't rush over the top side, try and do like a blue to blue thing. He knew what was going on.
But that's the question. Why don't you? Go fight him. Take that fight. That's what I want to see. Take teleport and we'll go over there level 1.
It's a little scary versus Brilliant Soul. Anytime you're going for early jungle skirmishes,
so
you're a
Think
little
about all the existential things adding on.
Yep, absolutely. But early wraparound here.
Dun, dun, dun. Good flash forward. Ooh, late black shield. Can they get the block on? No, it does stop the concussive blows from tagging, but here are the hits. The last one goes through, and there is no heal in that bot lane. Shorey goes down.
Gets taken out very quickly there, and even though the black shield was able to stop the slows and the stuns from coming in, at that point there was just too much lane to run up. Black shield eventually got broken off and finished by Mike Young's axe. Very good conversion on that early vertical jungling there. You have to be careful. You know that your jungler will not be down there. The enemy team knows your jungler is not down there, and you're pushed up in this lane. Mike Young gets the punish.
Ooh. Joey waltzing out. You feel so bad when you can't do anything. Like, I'm sorry, man. Neither of us have the security to get out of this.
I put my shield on you.
Till teleport back in the lane, though. 28 to 22, so that was kind of a push on the minions. That is cleaned up in the wave you see getting thrown into Mr. Rales as he teleports back. So pretty much all even after the back and forth with the assists going to Shady and Rales. Good start for Mike Young, though, after his games yesterday.
Yep, good.
Game.
Game. In case people weren't aware also, TP is the new hotness.
It's the new, yeah. Not
the
even
bot lane.
flavor of the month, man. It's hotness.
Yep, everyone's taking that down there, assuming you are a marksman. Ooh, we see another Predator gank coming in.
Nice. Oh, that's later. He actually can get that to tag on if they can get a few more shots. Not this time. Black Shield lasts so long.
Yeah, pretty dangerous there by TLA. The binding onto the Morgana, or onto the Olaf was pretty critical because once the Black Shield is on the Morgana, Mike Young intelligently tags the Lucian, or the Varus instead, who already doesn't have a flash. So if he was able to get a chain slow, might have been able to get that kill, but the binding land protected the marksman.
Oh, crazy to see a Zoe having trouble farming a bit with that splash damage taken off, and you see waves not being cleared out. Play a little bit differently. Keep yourself pressured up. 45 to 40 in that mid lane. The minions being cleared here in favor of Insanity first means he's got the movement to give Mike Young pressure. Still the inside track here for Blaze Olive to kind of push them out. So they're really testing each other here towards the mid lane, saying whose jungler's more ready for this fight, who's in better position. Looks like both teams even out.
Yeah, tried to find some chicken steal, but Blaze Olive was aware, providing backup needed for Mike Young to clean those up. So they say, all right, forget it. We'll just go topside, Scuttle Crab up here. Let's get it.
Fast Tiamat for Cake Lord. You keep pushed up against Viper. Nice pressure in that lane. He didn't have to teleport back in, and we have a Stand United and, oh no, not teleport, that was just used for Cake Lord, but he is doing a little bit of a walk down here to get a ward and make sure anything coming topside, he'll know about it.
One of the advantages of that Shen, of course, you get to use your TP at level 6 for free to try and get lane priority because, hey, I got another global in my ultimate.
Such a sick skin. I love this skin.
What is that skin?
Don't have a name.
Is it Pulsefire? It's got like it's all technological and stuff.
Well, right now it's getting scratched up by Viper. Any skin with the cape though is a +1.
Oh, it has a cape. I'm really bad at noticing skins, man.
I guess it's like a waist cape, so it's okay.
Oh, is it a loincloth?
The loin. Loin cape. New name for those.
Surprised that didn't catch on more.
Oh my god. Slow going this game. Definitely less active than the other games. The more standard, the more back to usual we're getting these.
Well, it's one of those games where both teams have very effective tools to counter out some of the strategies.
That's true, right? You have the Black Shield or the shield on Braum kind of things.
Yeah, Morgana neutralizes the Braum. Shen can neutralize Aurelion Sol a little bit if you're looking for bot lane roams.
Yep.
You also kind of neutralize Olaf's early aggressive game. So it's one of those games definitely where there's been a lot of focus on that, But up here, Viper had done a good enough job to chunk out Pie-Cake down to half HP. Did not feel safe underneath this turret.
Get enough of those shots on. Brittle starts to wear away you very nicely. Pie-Cake Lord feeling that. He'll come back to lane. Still has his minion dematerializers every single time to use on the wave. It looks like he may be doing that a few times here to now get this one pushed up more. They can do some more damage. Bot lane's going to try to be traded as fast as possible, but they're starting from 100 on this thing. They have a ways to go. They're going to get Mike Young's help to flush out what would be Shoryu and Joey, but they'll make it back in time, really kind of flip-flopping the map pressure and what TSM wanted to get back.
Still have to be careful, though, because this is happening on back by their mid laner, so there's no help.
Oh, don't forget about the Shen. Shoryu, no chance to get out of that one alive. Teleports up, and it stays up as he knows the chase was just too great.
And that was one of those things where you saw the initial minion wave die. You think, all right, they're going to back off, but there was no mid priority. They were not concerned about Insanity. Oh, looks like they're concerned about this, though.
Riddle goes in. Oh, flash over the wall from Viper. He wants to be the middle of that 3v1 to start things off. Now he charges himself out, and it looks like Rawlace is going to try to finish that kill. His eyes are only on Viper, and the few steps did not get him the kill. Now TSM trying to get out to the Dragon Pit. That's only going to do more damage. And Insanity over the wall as the last kill comes in for Viper onto Shady. What a scattered fight, but great pickups from Team Liquid Academy.
Yeah, that was really, really close to not working out in their favor, but Viper was able to kind of cancel out some of the stun from the Braum passive with his W, continuing to travel forward during that, and they overextended trying to finish him off, which they weren't even able to do. So that grabs them those 2 kills, grabbed the Dragons off the back of it. Insanity making his way up to the top side to catch that minion wave and relieve some of that pressure after a bot dive that went pretty well for TSM.
One more time. Let's see how everything happens.
Yeah, so they start things off on the Mike Young. It's looking okay. Shady there providing support. They can disengage from here, but Viper gets caught out of position, and they think they can get the kill. Just one more auto attack, but there's the W, so he continues to walk forward. And now Shady and Mr. Rawley's are right next to Hard, and Insanity comes in as well. The fight broke down from there, and Viper was able to live and then able to find the cleanup kill on Shady as a result. And hey, the Dragons already started from the fight. May as well take it down.
Gotta feel good when you go down to like 10 HP and you come back to get an actual kill in the fight. Go Viper. Oh, feeling great. Can still be aggressive even on the tanks. So 2-2 now, TLA. 16.6, just 1,000 gold up over TSM Academy. As TSM wants to bite down on the damage they've done to this bot lane turret. I don't know if Viper really wants it. The rotation, oh, they saw Mike Young. That's why they turn around. Ragnarok goes down. He flashes over the pillar to not pinch himself in the wall, and they pick up another kill right away.
And this is one of the metas that we were seeing towards the end of last split, the Olaf versus Trundle meta. Olaf has the early advantage with the tempo that he gets by clearing faster and the aggressive playmaking, being better with his chain slows. But once you get past that into the level 6s and stuff, as hold on, plays Olive, getting jumped on.
Goes to clear the wave, thinks he has enough, gets stunned by the stars and taken down by Viper and Team. Team Liquid is not stopping right now.
Beautiful chain CC combo there. They drop everything to finish him off. They get those 3 kills. Bot lane has to be careful because the rotation could come in, but it looks like instead they're going to focus down that mid lane turret.
Seeing the amount of crowd control that Team Liquid Academy brings to each fight with just the few members they keep having is disgusting. They still have a Morgana in bot lane they haven't even been using yet.
Varsalt, same way.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that as well. Chain of Corruption. There is no way you can be alone on this map if you're TSM Academy. You're being taken down.
Yeah, really good macro play so far by TLA, grabbing about 2,500 gold lead. Did grab that mid lane turret. Only one left is the bot lane. You can expect some plays coming down there pretty soon. Luckily, Pie-Cake Lord has ultimate backup to try and dissuade some of them, but so far, TLA has done a great job. And Insanity on a pretty difficult pick in competitive, all things considered. He's a rookie, you know, first time really in this kind of environment, playing a champion that's almost 100% macro and positioning.
Absolutely. I mean, just think of how many pro players you actually see play it.
Yeah, like who he fly. A couple people really master that champion, and then they're able to use it to great effect. This time,
that's the thing, is the result you can get out of it when you play it to that. It's just continuous kills. Hard and Insanity working together very well this game.
Yep, and then they're showing that you don't even need to roam the Aurelion Soul. You can always roam the other people down to him. So Ornn with this long range engage after a Blaze Olive popped over the wall, knows he can't go anywhere. And there's that combo. You got the Aurelion Soul stun. the knock-up from the
crazy.
Ornn as well.
In situations like that, for a Blaze Olive, even for yourself when you're in solo queue, it kind of makes you think twice because you're completely off of the game. A Blaze Olive thought he was safe to clear the wave. He'd have the upper hand by taking the minions away, but in reality, that was a perfect engage for the other team. And when you realize that, you think you're in a good spot and you're far from it, you know there's a lot of work to be done, and TSM need to gain some of that ground here, or Team Liquid's gonna keep being able to bite down.
Yeah, and it's not looking great for them. Their top side kind of got taken apart. Pie-Cake Lord 20 CS down, lost his turret. His one TP was decent, but was quickly countered out by Team Liquid Academy, so they didn't really get a global advantage from him. You know, the jungle matchup, it's past Mike Young's advantage period where it's kind of swung back into the Trundle's favor. And, you know, the item spikes are starting to come in. Shoryu's able to hit his before Mr. Raleigh, so things not looking great for TSM. Luckily for them, only a Cloud Drake coming up, not an Infernal or anything that could have spelled their doom.
Mountain Drakes are definitely paying their rent today on the Rift. We've seen so many. So this is a good reprieve here. Everybody can take a breath and they don't have to be forced in anything on the side of TSM. Oh, this is what they want though, forced into their own fight. Huge knockups, locks-ups, and everything for Hard. He stays alive for a good second there. Looked like TLA may have wanted to fight if they could get it, but they said, no, Viper's pushing on the top side. We can use that pressure. But TSM, they do start to take a bit of their own back.
Not too bad, all things considered, for either side. TLA did not lose pressure for that play, and it took a lot of resources. The Shen ult's out, the Braum ult's out, so you're going to have a little bit of a downtime. Should be back up close to when the Dragon's up.
Yeah.
So TSM, they grabbed that 300 gold. They're very happy to get it, but TLA is still in the lead by a solid 2,000 gold.
Boom. Solo it. Oh, wow.
Nope, it's not solo anymore, Riv.
Not a solo anymore. Gotta take solo. You know they're going to be coming. You only help them.
Thanks for leashing it, man.
You can dream, though. You hope and dream, and you feel really good if you do get it. Like, how the hell did that happen?
I didn't have anything else to do. I was waiting for the minion wave to shove out. Like, I'll take a crack at this. Might work out.
That was the best, that was the worst part, I should say, of kind of learning League when you don't know what to do in that off time. If you're Viper, you just go try to take a buff. It may not work.
That's probably one of the situations that result in the most random deaths for people in solo queue. It's like, I have pushed in the wave. What should I do?
Where do I go?
Sometimes people are like, oh, I'll harass him under his turret, and then they get ganked and killed. Or they're like, I'll go invade, and then they get collapsed on by the jungler and killed. It's a very unique skill set. Like, what do I do with my free time?
At least I won my lane. 4-3 here as they do start up on the Cloud Drake.
He typed ferociously in all chat.
Whoa, Mike Young in and out. Tries to play quick, and he cannot.
And there you go. Pie-Cake Lord's ult. With the fact he went full Titanic first, not actually any cooldown reduction in the build, so no ultimate available. Didn't want to really fight over the Cloud Drake. Like you said, nice cute little try by Mike Young. Probably not worth the flash though.
Little taunt and flaunt here on the top side. Call the Forge guy. Brittle destroys you, especially if he tags both Brittles on his abilities with that ultimate. It'll call the Forge God one more time. That's going to be enough. Great rotation in the extended fight from Viper. This guy's been involved in just about everything this game.
Yeah, showing some of those carry mechanics on the tank there, able to get a big advantage for himself. And Hard shows up just in time to steal that kill. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. He's like, you've been participating in just about 90% of it. I'm 100%. 3-2 on the board there with only one death, meaning his participation is going even deeper. TSM not shy to keep pushing in, knowing they have the aggression on the bot side. They're going to flex their muscles there a little bit, but do not come up with the turret. And Viper gets free time with Shelly on the top side. So everything that TSM do, TLA answers back with a little bit more of an advantage.
Yeah, definitely much more reminiscent of the games that we were seeing in the previous season. The slow, grindy game, picking up advantages all over the map. TSM are trying to pick their spots, but it feels like they just never get quite enough off them. That kill, you know, a minute before Dragon, not really influencing the game. Pie-Cake Lord just stuck up too far in that top side. Actually has a big impact, because then Shelly gets dropped in the top lane. You lose a turret for your death.
Objective control throughout the game. Cloud Mountain, Shelly as well. Buffs are about to come up, so that'll be Both teams kind of heading to red buff. Top side's actually harsh, just gonna grab that. Shoryu says, no worries, it might be yours. Older divvied up, we'll see. Choose your own adventure at this point.
Yeah, I'm sure. Hard is very happy to give away his red buff.
I would. There he goes.
To a 0-2.
There he goes.
It's the right play, everybody. We know it's the right play. It's just, I'm 3-1-2. This dude's 0-2. I should really give up my red buff.
Probably would have taken it as well. Plus, Hard's been in these fights for a longer period of time in a position to slow more people. So I guess it works. But you're right. It is that choice. You give it to the long-range guy so he can kite himself out of the fight.
Yeah. The right play. You're just not happy to be like, oh, dude, you need that to farm bot wave away from the team. That's helping you do that.
Take this over there. It's great.
I'm a jungler. You know, that's how you think about it.
Mm-hmm. Looks like they want the red buff on the side of TSM. They almost grabbed it back from Shoryu, but he did have a shield from Joey that would be coming in. Bot lane pressure is, it seems like we're so much farther in the game, but Baron hasn't even spawned yet. And the bot lane pressure is now going to be taken by TSM. They say map's gonna have a little bit of relief here. Let's use this time to pressure away from that.
Yeah, I mean, eight kills in a 19-minute game is pretty low for the current meta. So, you know, this feels like late game, but like you said, Baron not up yet. Mr. Raleigh's fine to go bottom and continue to push in for now. Soon, once that Baron comes up, you have to think that he's gonna want to stay more around the top side. As Insanity takes a little bit of a
every time I see that damage, it almost makes me mad. But I'm not, because I'm happy. So it's okay.
Did Hard sneak in? They saw him, right? Pretty sure, yeah. Well, in case they didn't see him before, he's biting a Rift Arrow, or a Cannon Minion, excuse me. I'm just unsure if Shoryu's going that AP build yet. Double Dagger can be used a couple different ways. Can turn into that Stinger and things, or can turn into a Zeal item.
Stinger and things, and friends.
Horrible sitcoms with Riv.
Stinger things and friends. 20 seconds on to Baron. It's actually interesting to see no vision whatsoever, at least towards the top side of the map. Really, just that one ward, and then everybody's like, yeah, there's going to be some action bot lane. Let's just go there.
There's not many wards at all on the side of TLA. You saw the toggle of vision there. I mean, they have like 4 all around that bot side, and none of the main you know, traffic ways warded up here. So playing a little risky despite being up pressure, walking through pink wards.
Clear it. Nice.
Anybody? Good thing you...
Oh, it feels so bad to sweep a pink ward.
Well, they should have known. They ran past both of them.
I know, but something should happen in the game where it's like, we see you did this. Here's your sweeper back. That's me as a support player. Let's see where they go from here. Shady's like, oh man, we're getting swept out. Need to get a little bit of this back, but he doesn't even really have time. TLA is just strangling out everything towards the mid side of the map here as nothing was found bottom over the last few minutes. We'll start to see that vision come up that was lacking oh so much.
Yeah, I think to be fair to TLA, they kind of knew that there was no reason putting significant vision down the bot side. Baron spawning in, you know, 30 seconds a minute, so we'll pressure around bot lane, but we're not going to invest very many vision resources into it. And now that Ornn's down there and they've ran up to the top side, they instantly drop a bunch of wards around Baron. They go back, pick up, you know, 7 more pink wards for themselves in their inventory. So they understood what they were doing as much as we were kind of joking about it. That's why they're the pros.
Yes, they are. I said I was going to try to analyze with you today. Guess I should just leave it up.
No, trust me. Hey, I was right there with you until I was like, huh, that makes sense now that I see them actually using their vision abilities. Infernal Drake's up, though, so no, not that small of an objective 21 minutes into the game. Definitely worth fighting over.
They say, hey, down towards mid, though. We'll route you first before you go for the Drake. Good catch onto Hard. He's actually been having a really good game. That would be great gold shutdown for the team. Throws down the ultimate and just becomes hard to take down. Ragnarok thrown down by Mike Young. He gets out of the fight. A flash away from Viper as he gets the safety. Shoryu's there. He says, I can deliver, but no more crowd control for me. Throws out the chain of corruption and the damage now to follow. An ultimate forward from a Blaze Olive to see if he can get a bit more steroid on that Paddle Star. But they back off. Nobody goes down in this fight, but a lot of abilities are used and just a few summoners.
Yeah, very scrappy fight. Viper came in, held his ult maybe a little bit too long because by the time he tried to use Call of the Forge God, he was already in a position to get CC'd up. Yep. Took a lot of damage and couldn't really use it to engage. Had to run away at that point after hard. Looked like he was kind of intentionally baiting getting hit by that stuff as Viper was wrapping around from the backside. Now Joey starting to feel the pain of this Zoe in an extended team fight skirmish.
Raleigh's just teleported in, and I wonder if they're going to just pull the trigger here. They have an easy fight. Joey's so low. Hard actually coming off of being low, but he can stay in the fight for a bit. But they get an easy contest on, or no contest, I should say. Easy Dragon and first Infernal for TSM. See how they can utilize this time. It's kind of the first moment they've had breathing room on the map.
Yeah, from down a fair amount of gold, almost 4K, 3.5. It's very nice to see them able to win. You know, not through kills, but by HP advantages, a skirmish around that Infernal Drake and begin making their way back into that game. Did cost him some stuff though. Mr. Raleigh's losing his TP. Whoa.
I wonder if they know that he used his TP. The back time from him being to the fight, they could have relayed that information. No, definitely not past something they could do. And an uncontested Dragon goes to an uncontested Baron now for Team Liquid. I'd say that's worth it for an Infernal.
Yeah, I would definitely take that trade. And this is kind of where that Vision investment from before paid off. They didn't need to go and fight for Vision again. They put the Vision down way before the Dragon shows up. Dragon spawns, they skirmish around there, and then TSM does not flip their Vision back up to the top side quickly enough, and TLA finds a window to grab a free Baron, just, you know, for the second game in a row, showing how important macro still is to the game.
They're going to be able to take down Piecake Lord too. I have trouble to believe he's getting out of here if they don't get the turret either. Ooh. Flash, dash, dodge. He gets himself out, and this turret's going to be dropping. So whether they get him or not, they are still controlling the map.
Now they got the 5-man push going. Piecake Lord doesn't have his ultimate, but does have TP. There's no ult for Orin, so probably not a dive going to be coming in here. Just going to try and get some pressure. Imagine they'll want to back soon, because it's been a little while now.
They have to have quite a surplus of gold. This is the last turret, I'd say, and they say that's enough. Let's not pressure too much. And there's the turnaround coming in from Team Liquid Academy. Very methodical at just orchestrating these fights nicely.
And it's a team comp from TLA that you look at and don't think they have a ton of Baron damage there, but they have the Mountain Dragon, which is going to help do it a little bit more. And AP Varus is actually better than AD Varus because the ratios on his percent health working with AP, so when he gets the 3 marks on the
Blight proc,
and then we get the Blight proc, it actually does a lot more damage to Baron. So surprising amount of damage there. If you have Blade of the Rune King, it's a little bit less obvious, but if you're going like, you know, Ginsu's Hurricane, it's not comparable at all with the Nash.
We have actually seen some Varus in the past level that level the Blight proc, try to get the more damage out of the percent for early game and whatnot.
Yeah, this is definitely not Q-Max lethality Varus or anything like that. This is WE max. You take E for some poke in the lane, get your Ginsu's, start going over the W.
Yep.
There you go.
And there you go. Doing big damage. 0-2-0. Unfortunately, not huge damage for him this game. It seems like the AD carries are coming up short in all of these games. The junglers are getting kills, supports are getting more kills.
Oh,
and these aggressive fights, it's so chaotic. They're not leaving any kills anywhere.
Man, Mr. Raleigh is in there.
He's doing it this game. Heck yeah. And he's actually different as well. Essence Reaver this time to Black Cleaver as opposed to Piglets from last build.
Yeah.
Tearing through the armor though.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, last game, not that many tanks. Definitely understandable. This time here, that Orin getting pretty big. The Trundle will be big, stealing from the Shen. So definitely is going to want some of that shred on his targets.
Man, the Zoe bubble still drowsying you after the shield comes on. Always wondering if that changed and fixed it, but nope. You still sleep.
Nope, just fix the QSS portion of it.
Bing, bang, boom! Joey gets a hit there. They're still going to be confident to go in on this one, but Joey may be using the shield for himself at this point. Shoryu gets it so he can throw up a hail of arrows, slowing people down a little bit on any type of rebuttal here for the turret. Thought I heard a Call the Forge God for a second there. A small horn, it's like, small horn goes off. Just the taunt, just the taunt.
Joey, you know, kind of too low to go up there and fish with bindings. That's normally what a Morgana wants to do, but after getting hit by Zoe like that, does not feel safe looking for bindings. It does make this 5-man siege pretty awkward. Shoryu doesn't have much room to walk up and hit the turret, so Baron times out.
Ooh. Very good damage on the Piecake Lord. No minions, though, to get into that turret, and I think they're not wasting their time, but may have spent a bit too much. They don't have much to work with. And they're gonna see that. Start heading out. Oh, beautifully done by Hard. That is such a troll under the bridge move.
Yeah, you think like, oh, pepper them on the way out. Maybe we can TP our Shen in somewhere. No.
How about no? Great job. A little back and forth here, but TSM holding off and actually not allowing too much damage on that turret. Usually you would see a team pushing in, say, there's the first wave, there's the second wave. Maybe by 3.5, they have the inhibitor open, but good hold.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ablaze Olive put in some work there, chunking out the Morgana, making her not feel safe. And that just put some whole hesitancy in TLA's game plan, because you saw they do have a fair amount of chain CC. You can just Varus ult somebody, and then you Trundle ult him, and then you Morgana bind him, and that person never gets to move. And TLA might be able to kill him from range, but with Morgana being scared and some of this stuff, they were a lot more hesitant. The Baron times out, and they were able to keep all their inhibitor turrets up alive.
I actually think that passive, whenever he kills something, he's attacking faster, and he has Rage Blade. Good lord. Good old Varus. He is just flying through those arrows right now. See where TSM can go from here. They do have some vision behind them. Might be a crazy teleport, or if Viper can just route down through that, he might not get himself in too much trouble. He's going to meet up with 2 members here quite soon. But as of right now, those engages coming out of Viper have been the ones to start them hard there as well. And you have to consider, sure, you hit a good chain of corruption. There's so many things that keeps everybody in place with the pillar, the Ornn ultimate, to get that chain of corruption locked down on more members. That's a nice combination.
It definitely feels like TSM needs some kind of pre-fight advantage, whether that's a Blaze Olive chunking somebody out, or Piecake Lord maybe being able to get some split push pressure and getting the extra shield on top. It feels like they need something here, given the fact that they're almost down 10k gold, more around 8.
It's hard, though. TLA being able to put multiple Knight's Vows in, a few other things for everybody else, right? They can buy for different people. They just wanted more Knight's Vows.
It is surprising to see these double Knight's Vows.
King him twice.
You can't do that technically, I'm pretty sure. It's always weird because there's conduits and then there's like the thing.
Right.
Because Zeke's is a conduit, I think, but Knight's Vow is not technically.
So I'm pretty sure that Hard got Vipers, and then everything else is on Shoryu.
Huh. I was going to say, maybe you put it on Insanity. We'll have to see where these little indicators are pointing on the ground at some point. But all things considered, not too much of a surprise. I am surprised to see Insanity go for the Oblivion Orb into Morello Nomicon. There's not a ton of feeling on TSM Academy side, as well as the fact that you're going to be in what feel like pretty long fights, so Leandry's might have made some sense.
So I think you're right. Viper put it on Insanity. Because I just saw Insanity was pointing down at him as he ran about.
Whoa.
That was close. So I get himself to safety. Paddle Star just short. Just those noises.
Yeah.
Blowing raspberries. Almost through. Joey getting a binding just off. The backside chain of corruption goes out. That's going to be hitting a lot of ultimates. Glacial Fisher back. One last piercing arrow does not take down Shady, as he's just too healthy to go down, and it looks like they're going to start moving up towards that Baron area. A dodge out on the Drowsy Bubble gives TLA now positioning to put down wards and possibly get a fight that they want.
Yeah, I mean, they did force out Shady. He's back in base. Piecake Lord can TP in here. It will be basically a 4v5 with only the support forced out, so they're going for the turn.
Oh my word. Not able to move. Ablaze Olive has to flash immediately when he gets himself down on the ground. Raleigh is also backing up as they kite the fight. Piecake Lord doing a great job with that in the middle of the fight to block the autos. And it is going to be the help coming in from Shoryu to take that first kill. TLA holding on that back line, but it seemed like everybody was taking the same amount of damage. As you see, their health bars almost equal.
Yeah, it felt like Mike Young maybe should have charged in there to help support. Just buy a little bit more space for Mr. Rawlings to walk forward.
Joey getting a little crazy. Baron goes down. No Ragnarok there as Mike Young wanted to try to get the last smite fight to go down. This means they were going for broke and losing their entire team. This could be TLA in the base.
Yeah, I mean, there's 40-second death timers after that. Piecake Lord down for 20. they're going to be able to at least grab 2 inhibitor turrets, I believe. And we'll have to see if they want to try and end the game.
I mean,
30 more
look,
seconds.
the attack speed on Shoryu is going to be huge.
And they got the Baron cannon minion. This could be the game.
This could absolutely be the game. Still 20 seconds going down. First Nexus turret. You are going to have that Shen coming up. Will Piecake Lord be able to do anything as they lock down Raleigh just outside the base? No, they will not. TLA's eyes on the Nexus, and Team Liquid take the win over TSM Academy.
TSM just slowly getting eked out in advantages over the course of that game before finally getting their back broken in that last fight. They actually only lose 1 person at the beginning, but they know they can't afford to give that Baron up, and after they lose the Baron, they still give up a couple more kills, and that's all it takes to end that game.
Liquid coming out super strong to start this one and kind of holding it all the way through. We saw that aggression from Mike Young. We said he needed to come out strong. Had a difficult game yesterday. A few Barons were missed out there, and that can play on a jungler's mentality. Gets the first kill. Things look great. Not even a what happened from there. TLA just said, no more of that.
Yeah, it just felt like that one play happened. Great. Nice play by Mike Young. Maybe a mistake on TLA's bot lane for being that pushed up. But then we talked about how many factors there are for neutralizing each other's comp. The Shen neutralizes some bot lane aggression. Morgana and Aurelion Sol can come down as well. So basically the game slows down from that point, and Piecake Lord starts losing the 1v1 against Viper, who starts making plays. Then those guys start comboing together around mid lane, and their bot lane, who was losing, was 0-2, not having the best time, didn't matter, as the rest of TLA were able to make better decisions over the course of the game and find more advantages.
That was really the thing as well. Hard having a beautiful game coming out here all over the map as well, helping people just get, I'd say, the assists, the kills, and then he was participating in just about everything that happened in the mid-game. And to have a Trundle that big is ridiculous.
He feels a lot like the glue guy for this team. And even looking back at last split when Viper and Mickey were playing crazy stuff, you know, we interviewed him and we're like, is it hard playing with such aggressive players? Do you not know where you need to be? And he's like, no, I generally know what's going to happen at different points in the game and who I need to be supporting when. This game felt pretty similar, albeit a much slower version where he's just always in the right place.
Well, being in the right place brought them to this final fight as we replay it, where we just saw Team Liquid handling each fight up to here, but then even with Joey low, they were always pressuring TSM into a fight they almost didn't want.
Yeah, at this point, it was a little bit too late to try and make this play. Mike Young didn't have his ult after a skirmish forced it out, but Piecake Lord had died right before that. You look at the situation and say, maybe Mike Young, if you're going to charge in and try and win a fight, you do it when it's actually a fight. At that point, no Ragnarok, no way to actually get that Baron, just kind of runs into his death. And with those extra deaths that came in, they no longer have any way to hold their base.
Do you see anything different for happening for kind of TSM in the mid part of the game? Maybe they played too lax. Blaze Olive was trying to hit the bubbles, and he had a few positions here and there, but what could have been that kind of solution?
It was tough to say because I believe the Aurelion Sol was the last pick, so it felt like they kind of set up this Lucian Braum lane, and they have the Olaf for the aggression. At level 6, we're going to dive your bot lane, but then, you know, they tried it once, I think, and they got 1 kill, and it just, like, never really converted and blew the game open. And on the flip side, it felt like TLA were always making the right decision. So maybe this is something where you look at it and say you need a more aggressive comp, but it's hard to know that in the moment as you're drafting.
And a 0-2 start for TSM as well. As they hit that, we'll have to see what they can do. Team Liquid starting with the 2-0, which has to feel good for the Liquid fans. With week 1 complete, let's see how the teams are stacked up. CLG Academy, Optic, and Team Liquid top the table, all finishing week 1 undefeated. Then we have 100 Thieves, Cloud9 Academy, FlyQuest, and Golden Guardians with an even record. While Clutch Academy, Echo Fox Academy, and TSM Academy finish the week without a win. Academy has wrapped up for the week as it is, which means the LCS is just around the corner. Tomorrow, you'll see Game 1 rematch of the Summer Finals between 100 Thieves and Team Liquid. Then we have a classic rivalry match between TSM and Counter Logic Gaming before Clutch takes on Cloud9's new roster, which is going to be insane. We just saw the roster of Academy lose today, which may actually kind of put truth to Golden Glue. Zazel and Keith are playing much better right now within this era of play.
It's really hard.
This time of play. The era, been a few weeks.
It's hard to say because based off the 2 games that we saw in Academy out of you know, the LCS starter, former LCS starters for C9, they didn't feel like a huge factor for and against them. Like when they won yesterday, felt like Shiro and Blabber popped off really hard. This time when they lost, it felt like Shiro and Blabber did the opposite. kind of got steamrolled. So it was hard to really indicate that this is like what they want to do, but they didn't seem like they were super creative in the meta. I mean, yes, Sneaky had that one brand game,
Right.
but then after that, like what more do they have to show? Because it does feel like the teams who are doing the best and ending the games the fastest are the ones who have a lot of tricks and understanding up their sleeve.
Yeah, or can it go back to that standard as well? We will have to see. The idea was that those three were playing this meta better, so hopefully it gets crazy. If that wait is too long, I know it can be too long. Coming up right after this is a rebroadcast of this morning's EULCS matches ahead of their live Day 2 broadcast. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. for Ready Check and Game 1, starting at 8. Now for myself, Mark, and the entire Academy crew, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Dun, dun. Good flash forward. Ooh, late black shield. Can they get the block on? No, it does stop the concussive blows from tagging, but here are the hits. The last one goes through, and there is no heal. Wallace is going to try to finish that kill. His eyes are only on Viper, and the few steps did not get him the kill. Now TSM trying to get out through the dragon pit. That's only going to do more damage. And insanity over the wall as the last kill comes in for Viper. Joey getting a little crazy. Baron goes down. No Ragnarok there as Mike Young wanted to try to get the last smite fight to go down. This means they were going for broke. Team Liquid take the win over TSM Academy.